Wake that ass up.
Early in the morning.
The Breakfast Club.
We are the Breakfast Club. Good morning. Let's get in some front page news.
Don't start talking like you've been here the whole time. Say good morning to the people.
I said good morning. Then you just said good morning. I said good morning.
Good morning. He just walked in. How are you?
I said good morning.
Okay.
When you were late, do you say good morning? Yes. I said good morning. What's up,
I don't
Morgan?
be late.
Yeah, right.
Good morning. How we feeling on a Wednesday? Hump day.
Hump day.
Feel good. Yeah, I like it. All right. So first on front page, seems like we have an update in that viral video case that's out of Jacksonville, Florida. Now, the sheriff in Jacksonville is warning people not to jump to conclusions about an arrest that has gone viral. A cell phone video posted on social media shows a traffic stop involving William McNeil Jr. 5 months ago. The video went viral over the weekend after viewers saw Jacksonville Sheriff's Office officer punch McNeil. Now, Jacksonville Sheriff TK Waters released the body cam video because he doesn't want the viral video to create a narrative that leads to skewed conclusions. Let's take a listen to the body cam version of the video or parts of that was not shown in McNeil's recording.
Yes, sir.
Is there a reason why you're popping the door open like that?
I don't have a window that works. Is there a reason that you're pulling me over?
Yeah, absolutely. There's a reason why I'm pulling you over. For one thing, inclement weather, you don't have your lights on. Two things, you're not wearing your seatbelt.
It's daylight. I don't need the lights. And it's not weather. It's not raining.
Oh, this is inclement?
It's not raining.
Okay, I'm not arguing with you. I'm telling you why I'm pulling you over. Give me your driver's license, registration, proof of insurance.
No, call your supervisor. Why?
Excuse me?
Call your supervisor. Why did you pull me over?
27, 35. I'm property dog driver. I've already told you.
Why did you pull me over?
Step out of the vehicle.
No.
Step out of the vehicle.
I mean, he said don't jump to conclusions, but the only conclusion was that the police was wilding. Like, no lights on and no seatbelt was no reason to do all that. Now, the guy kept asking, why did you pull me over? The officer told you. I feel like the guy could have cooperated a little bit more, but that still don't mean that, the police should have escalated the situation to that level.
And that's why I already heard that. I think I thought that was out already. Like, we heard that, and I still feel the same way. He shouldn't have put his hands on him.
Well, the thing is when the cop gave him an order, right? To give him his license. He didn't want to give his license. He said, call your supervisor, right? Which they did. Now, the cop still has to make sure that the man is safe and ain't unarmed, right? So they asked him to get out the car. The problem I see with the videos is when they punched him through the window.
Yes.
Because he wasn't fighting back.
There's no reason to escalate this.
He was not fighting back.
Maybe that's the problem he see with the video. That's the problem we all see with the video.
They were saying it was all a bunch of different things of why they pulled him out. They pulled him out to detain him until the supervisor came, but that was the only problem. They shouldn't have punched him in his face.
But and they broke his window. Like, they broke through his window.
But he went open the door. He said his window was broken. He went open the door.
I still don't feel like that's no reason for cops to
That's
do
essentially what, officers in the sheriff's office is saying, is that he wasn't compliant with the sheriff's orders. Now, Sheriff TK Waters also spoke about the incident during a recent press conference, saying that one video clip void of context can be very misleading. He says McNeil never brought this to the attention of JSO officers, so he only assumes that McNeil intended to outrage the public. Let's take a listen to his comments during a recent press conference.
The administrative process is still ongoing, and as such, I will neither defend nor commend Officer Bauer's response to resistance until all the facts are known and the investigation is completed. However, as the leader of this agency, I will not remain silent while important facts and information are buried to advance an anti-police agenda. The truth is, William McNeil Jr. was non-compliant with JSO officers within 21 seconds after he was stopped for multiple civil infractions. His non-compliance quickly rose to the level of criminal resistance to a police officer. McNeil was arrested and pled guilty to resisting a police officer without violence. Force absolutely looks ugly, and because all force is ugly, whether or not the officer involved acted within outside JSO policy, that's still what we're investigating.
Well, what are the facts? Like, what context could you add to that video to where we feel that's all right? Non-compliance leads to shattered windows and a punch in the face?
But the punch in the face is the main problem, because he wasn't being violent. He wasn't swinging back. He wasn't doing anything. He wasn't resisting. His hands were up. There was no reason to punch him in the face.
I don't think there was no reason to shatter his window either.
But they wouldn't get out the car and they wouldn't open the door. So
what?
They got to assume the worst, but they shouldn't have punched him in his face.
You bring the back up.
He wasn't a threat.
Yeah, you don't shatter the window to punch the face.
Yeah, he shouldn't have been punched in the face.
Waters adds that the two officers involved aren't facing criminal charges, but the incident, of course, is being investigated internally. McNeil is being represented by civil rights attorneys Ben Crump and Harry Daniels. Now, the incident left him with a chipped tooth, 9 stitches in his lip, and a concussion, and a knife was found in his car. So court records also indicate he pleaded guilty to resisting police without violence and driving on a suspended license. So.
Well, see, that was the thing. That's why he was non-compliant, because he know his license was suspended.
Correct. Right.
You know what I'm saying? So,
right.
but that still does not mean he should have got his window shattered and got punched in the face. But, he was being difficult because he knew he was riding dirty. I got a suspended license. Because the officer did tell him why you got pulled over. You got pulled over because you didn't have a seatbelt and your light was out.
In foggy conditions or something
but But that's the whole point. If an officer pulls you over and you ask for your license and you don't want to give your license, what do they assume? That the reason you don't want to give your license because you have a warrant or there's something wrong,
happening.
right? He said he didn't have a seatbelt on. He didn't have daytime running lights on. They asked for your license and registration. He didn't want to provide it, right? So they tried to pull him out, but punch him in the face was totally wrong.
He asked to see the law as well, didn't he? Didn't he request, all right, let me see that law.
Pull that law up. Mm-hmm.
Right, pull the law
The funny thing is he said, call my supervisor. My supervisor, your license still going to be suspended whether my supervisor coming out.
All right, y'all, that's your front page news for 6 a.m. at 7 a.m. We are talking more presidential stuff and the Epstein files, or lack thereof. Stick around.
All right. Morning, everybody. It's DJ NV, Jess Hilarious, Charlamagne the Guy. We are the Breakfast Club. Let's get back in some front page news. What's up, Morgan?
Hey, you always like to get into sports first. Did you hear about Venus Williams? She's back on the tennis court. Well, she is now the second oldest woman to win a tour-level singles match in a professional tennis. The 45-year-old tennis legend defeated Peyton Stearns in straight sets in the D.C. Open yesterday, her first singles win in almost 2 years. And the only older woman to have done that is Martina Navratilova at age 47. Now, Williams takes on the 5th-seeded Magdalena Frank in the second round on Thursday, so y'all should check that out.
I haven't heard about that in no way. I ain't know Venus was back on the court.
I seen it this morning, but I didn't know what it was. I seen like them interviewing her, but I thought it was something old. But I thought she retired. But congratulations to her.
Yeah, pretty much. But she decided to come back to the D.C. Open, and she's doing pretty well. So continue to watch. All right, so in presidential news, Trump says the U.S. has reached a trade agreement with Japan. At a White House event last night, Trump touted the deal, which includes a 15% tariff on Japan's exports to the U.S. He added the country will also invest $550 billion into the U.S. in what he called perhaps the largest deal ever made. Let's take a listen to President Trump's comments regarding that deal.
We worked on it long and hard, and it's a great deal for everybody. I always say it has to be great for everybody. It's a great deal, but we're doing really well as a country. We're strong. We have a lot of money flowing in. The tariffs are kicked in better than anybody other than me and a few of the people in the room thought could happen.
So the 15% tariff rate is well below the 25% rate that the Trump administration had initially threatened in a letter to Japan earlier this month. So that's good news on trade and international affairs. Meanwhile, President Trump claims the intelligence community caught Obama cold. While speaking in the Oval Office with reporters, Trump touched on the criminal referral connected to the Obama-era officials and their reports of Russian interference in the 2016 presidential election. He claimed former President Obama and his administration tried to interfere with the 2016 presidential election. Let's take a listen to those comments from President Trump.
This was every word you can think of. They tried to steal the election. They tried to obfuscate the election. They did things that nobody's ever even imagined, even in other countries. Now, we found this isn't like evidence this is like proof. Was trying to lead a coup. And it was with Hillary Clinton, with all these other people.
Don't let them turn the channel. Okay, what about the Epstein files, Mr. President? Right.
So
what about the Epstein files?
National Director of Intelligence Tulsi Gabbard alleged the Obama's White House led an effort to manufacture intelligence that Russia interfered and has since made a criminal referral to the Department of Justice. Trump said he believes the allegations against Obama, adding Gabbard has thousands of documents. And to your point, Charlamagne, speaking of documents.
But you know, though, I also don't understand why he keeps bringing that up about President Obama. But because of the Supreme Court, didn't they grant presidents broad immunity for a lot of official acts that places presidents above the law? President Barack Obama was a president. So even if you are trying to say that he did something, nefarious, Ain't nothing you can do about it because of what your Supreme Court has done.
All right, clock it. But speaking of those documents, Bernice King, the youngest daughter of the late Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., is urging officials to unveil files connected to Jeffrey Epstein. King issued a call soon after Director of National Intelligence Tulsi Gabbard published over 230,000 pages of information related to King's death in 1968. Now, King's youngest daughter shared a photo of her father on X with a caption saying, "Now do the Epstein files." The King family has condemned any attempts to misuse these documents in a way intended to undermine the legacy of the civil rights icon. Now, this comes as the House is going on its August recess early. Lawmakers were set to hold votes on Thursday, but that will no longer happen because motions from Democrats related to the Jeffrey Epstein files could have forced Republicans to vote on the matter and whether or not to release them, right? So House Speaker Mike Johnson said there's no purpose for Congress to push the administration to do something they're already doing. And federal judges are seeking more information before determining if courts will unseal grand jury transcripts in the case related to Jeffrey Epstein. It comes as after the Justice Department and FBI has faced increased scrutiny to release those files. Deputy Attorney General Todd Blanche requested the transcripts be unsealed with redactions of victim-related and other personal identifying information. Now judges are asking the DOJ to lay out its arguments in writing more thoroughly by July 29th, while submissions from Ghislaine Maxwell's or Epstein's representatives as well as their victims are due by August 5th. So it looks like Congress is going to get a little bit of a break around August on recess, and maybe back in August or as August continues, we will see something or some more movement with the Epstein files. But as of right now, things are tabled and paused. So. But that's your front page news. I'm Morgan Wood. Y'all can follow me on socials at Morgan Media for more news coverage. Follow at Black Information Network. Download the free iHeartRadio app and visit us at BINnews.com. Thank y'all.
Thank you.
Wake that ass up.
Early in the morning.
The Breakfast Club.